What updates can you give us on AD and Rondo? And of course, Troy Daniels getting hurt today too.
Yeah, AD is still dealing with some soreness. We're listing him as probable for tomorrow night, and hopefully he can go.
Is that going to be a season-long thing for him, or maybe a month-long thing for him?
Well, we'll see. We take it day by day. It was feeling better until he tweaked it again last night, and continue to just take it day by day. And in terms of Rondo participated in about 35 to 45 minutes of 5-on-5 live full court. Is getting closer with his conditioning, and listing him as questionable for tomorrow.
Frank, was it that block shot that aggravated?
Yes. Yep.
Obviously, the medical team has been comfortable with him playing and not having to come out of the game even after that shot play. But can you shed a little light on why they feel like it's okay? Like, is it not going to get?
Well, if it's minimal soreness, then I think they're going to deem him ready to play, and just relying on player feedback on the pain level and all those types of things. That's their decision. They tell me whether he's in or out.
How much of an eye is kept toward, if he continues to play on it, what happens in May?
Oh well, we're looking at it very closely for sure. We know the importance of Anthony to our system and our goals this year. So we're going to continue to look at it very closely day to day and make decisions at that point.
Do you have conditions that, even if the medical team cleared him, like there might be a night where he said, hey, maybe take the night off because of the shoulder?
Who said that?
Are there conditions that exist where you might do that?
Where I may do that? Yeah, that's a possibility. We'll continue, like I said, with everybody to keep the big picture in mind. Whether it's managing minutes throughout each game, or managing whether a player needs to be off on a certain night. Something that we'll evaluate day to day all throughout the year. So that could be a possibility, sure.
What comes out to you as far as his mentality of playing through that yesterday, as well as when he was having it earlier in the season?
He wants to be in there, and he's not gonna let something slow him down that isn't preventing him from being on the basketball court. If he can be out there, he's going to be out there. He's going to play through pain, and we just got to make sure that it's being done intelligently. If it's too much or if it's at risk, then certainly we won't have him out there.
What was Daniels doing?
A player in that situation, just to be honest with the staff about his pain level and his tolerance.
Yeah, it's a collaboration between the player and the medical team. And the feedback I get from them dictates whether he plays or not.
What was Daniels doing when he injured himself today?
Playing, in the 5-on-5 live scrimmage work with Rajan.
Did you see how it happened, or did you hear it?
I did not.
What Rajan doing?
He did the 45 minutes, 5-on-5 live, full court, making progress with his conditioning, and hopefully the calf continues to feel good.
So that's everything. There was nothing he was held out of?
Correct. Yeah.
I realize this is a hard question to answer, but you guys have, through the rest of the month, 10 games, most of which are against teams projected to be in the lottery and things like that. When stretches like this, how important are they to take advantage of so that you can have flexibility if you need to rest a guy, need to create space for down the road?
We want to build as much cushion as we can, and look, it's really not even about that. It doesn't matter who we're playing. We have 82 opportunities this year to strengthen our habits, and it doesn't matter if we're playing a team projected to be in the lottery or a team that has an undefeated record, that won a championship last year, for instance, last night. It doesn't matter. Every time we take the floor, we have an opportunity to strengthen our habits, of style of play and everything that we know leads to winning basketball that will make us the team we want to be down the stretch.
Do you pay attention to how schedules break down, like December and January are projected to be much harder, which is the teams that you play and things like that?
Not really with quality of opponent per se, but definitely from the standpoint of how many games and how many days. So we're just making sure we're managing rest appropriately.
When it comes to the offense and some of the stretches you guys have had where it's been a little harder to come on, how important is it just to get it flowing so there's that reward for the type of offense that you guys are playing?
Yeah, well, our offense is going to make our defensive lives easier. And, we saw a lot of that on the tape this morning, that if we play a little bit more extra pass basketball, a little more no stress offense, where we're just trusting the next guy. Everything will fall into rhythm and fall into place a little bit better offensively, and then we'll be stronger on the defensive end.
Did they become somehow in that way where you start feeling the defense picking up because the offense is going right?
Absolutely. Both ends of the court impact each other, and we have to execute on both ends.
Anthony said last week that if he had 4 or 5 days to let the shoulder rest, it would be better, or that would resolve the issue. Is that medically sound information? Is that your understanding as well, that it would go away if he had a certain number of days off of it?
Yeah, well, I think with anybody's, nagging injury or whatever they have, any ailment that any player has would be better off with 4 or 5 days off. That's not the reality of the NBA. So I mean, if an injury reaches a point where a player needs to miss games, then they'll miss games. If not, they'll stay in there and battle through it.
Frank didn't tell you it was just basically 3-man, dummy-o, and shooting.
Okay, so not a lot of activity.
No, not a lot of activity.
Do you think you could play tomorrow?
Do I think so? In my mind, I think so.
What does your body say?
I just got to listen to it when I get up in the morning and see how I feel.
Rajon, you've been listed as day-to-day for a couple weeks now. Is this in a lot longer than you initially thought of the process?
It has, but they kind of compared it to KD's calf strain, and once they said that, I kind of backed up as far as wanting to play right away. So I took a little bit more time off and trying to listen to my body day to day.
Do you think there's a point earlier in your career when you would have tried to push through it?
Early in my career, I probably wouldn't be going through it.
Wouldn't got hurt.
Yeah, I mean, 23 versus 33 is a big difference.
How much is it? You guys are 7-2. You have to necessarily have to rush back.
It's not necessarily about our record. This is about, like I said, my comfort is wanting to come back and not, come back for 2 games and out 2 games, just a consistent flow and get back in the rhythm with my guys and my teammates.
How much has the dynamic of who makes the decision of whether or not a player coming off of an injury plays changed over the course of your career? 10 years ago, did the player have more say of, I'm going to push through this and I can play? Or is it?
I think it's always been the same for me. I think each individual is different, obviously, depending on the type of injury. But like I said, this is the lower extremity, something you kind of don't want to mess around with, and it can lead to other things. So I'm trying to be smart, be conscious of what they're telling me. Been a little stubborn, but at the same time, we're both on the same page as far as where I need to be and when I need to return.
Is conditioning a step of it, or is there still soreness in it?
I'm just waking up a couple days consistently without feeling any soreness. Because conditioning is not going to be there regardless of when I come back or how many practices we have. But with our schedule, you all know we don't practice much, nowadays anyway. So it'll be my condition will be in the game. I think it's been a month since I played basketball, so I'll be fine.
When did the KD revelation happen? Was that early on in the rehab process?
Maybe like 13 days ago.
What time did
It was around like 1:39 p.m.
After that MRI that you had?
Which one?
Oh, how many MRIs have you had?
Like three and a possible. They got this new thing on the device, like ultrasound. You can see it on your phone, but that's another story. So I've had about 6 of them, and they've all telling me the same thing, but it's getting better each day.
And you monitor that soreness. Is it an issue more of pain tolerance and discomfort, or concern about recurrence and it getting worse?
Recurrence and getting worse. Like I said, the main focus is kind of when I get up in the morning. It's kind of achy when I get out of bed, and once that continues to kind of fade away and less timid, then I'll be fine.
At one point you had, we saw you with some the very lower part of the calf, did that change your thinking when the Achilles potentially became involved?
Achilles was the first initial problem. Then I rest for a while, then they kind of moved to my calf, and that's when they told me about the KD mild calf strain, so I kind of backed off after that.
So you're somebody who obviously has been through the flow of an entire season, championship season, things like that. So there's a stretch you guys are going to go through where you play 10 teams, most of which are projected to be out of the playoffs. How important is it to beat up on quote-unquote weaker teams as you move through this, to give yourself flexibility to let guys rest or whatever it might be?
I mean, we're a competitive group of guys. We want to win every game. It's not necessarily about our record. We play amongst ourselves every night, continue to get better. We got to work on things that we have to improve on as far as transition defense, boxing out, the little things. So regardless of a team is in the playoffs or not, we want to continue to work and get better each day. each game.
What's been the dialogue with other teammates, especially LeBron and AD, about your role when you return?
None.
You ever talk to them about how you kind of see yourself putting on the court? Or?
No.
A lot of the guys have talked about how so far the defense has outpaced the offense in terms of efficiency. From a player standpoint, just psychologically, how important is it to get that offense equal to the defense, just so it feels like there's always that payoff for the defense that you're playing because there's so much effort?
Well, the way we won our last, 7 out of 8 games has been defense, so I'm not too concerned about our offense. As long as the defense is ahead of us, our offense, and I think we'll be fine. Obviously, defense wins championships, and like I said, to test the last couple of games, we've won off our defense, so I'll take it.
How have you been impacting the game outside of just being on the sideline? Have you been talking to other guards?
I talk to every teammate of mine if they ask questions, and if I have my input, I'll